Hi everybody, Krazifizix welcomes you to this activity session. If you are in grade 12, quickly want to run through a few questions on analytical geometry. You watching this video means you already have information based on this topic, this concept, and we just want to fine-tune some things, clarify some things, and see how to approach questions. You might learn a few tricks as we go on. You can always get to know more about us, www.krazifizix.org.za, or WhatsApp on 081-744-2103. Let's run quickly without wasting much time into enjoying what Analytical Geometry Grade 12 has for us. Okay, please make sure you read carefully. In the diagram below, D is the center of the circle. I'll just be quickly pointing that out. All right, D is the center of the circle having an equation, x squared. We have the equation of the circle. Let me write that out. The equation of the circle is x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 2y minus 175 equals to 0. All right. BE is a diameter. Quickly reading. BE is a diameter, okay, that has the equation 2y minus x equals to 4. Diameter. The equation of the diameter 2y minus x equals to 4. And I'm sure we can rewrite this equation. All right, it's a straight line, so we can rewrite it as what? 2y equals to, I'm moving my x plus 4, which gives me y as divide everything by 2, half x plus 2, because I'm dividing all the terms by 2. So this is the equation of the diameter, which means the gradient of the diameter or the gradient of the radius, which is part of the diameter, is actually half, because we're using the equation y equals to mx plus c. I'm sure we're already answering a few questions just by interpreting that. And also we could do the equation of the circle. I see it's in question number 3, so I'll do it when I get there. All right. ABC is a tangent. ABC is a tangent to the circle at B. My dear learners, I'd like you to always remember something here. That this point B here, okay, there's something important about that point. That point is known as a point of intersection. And you know what we do at the point of intersection? We equate. All right? We equate. Lovely. So take note of that. Okay, now the first one says show that point B. Oh, that point B. Now, point of intersection, we equate. But let's see, what are the things that are intersecting at that point? I've got my tangent, which I know nothing about. I have a diameter at that point. Oh, lovely. And I have the equation of a diameter. Sweet. The circle also there. Lovely. Oh, so I have the circle and the diameter. I can use both equations, and what do? We just equate. So let's run through. Now it's algebra since we've interpreted. Question 3.1. Let's do that together. 3.1. We're working with the diameter and the circle. Now, guys, you have an equation, half x plus 2. You can work with that, or you can actually work with, oh, I wrote this wrongly. No, it's fine. All right, 2y minus x equals to 4. Beautiful. 2y minus x equals to 4. So you can solve simultaneously. All right. So what do we have? X squared plus 4x plus. Now, what is my y? My y is half x plus 2. But it is now squared minus 2 into bracket. What's my y? Half x plus 2 minus 175. Oh, the rest is just algebra now. Okay, x squared plus 4x plus, we expand this. Half times half would give us 1 over 4, but it is x squared. Now, half times 2 would give us 1, and that 1 multiplied by 2. You should know that by now. All right, half times 1, half times 2 is 1 times 2. We have 2, which would give us 2x plus 4. Now, minus 2 times half, again, would give us what? 1, and that is negative x. Negative 2 times negative 2 would give us what? Negative what? 4 minus 175 equals to 0. Let's check our like terms. x squared plus 1 over 4 x squared. That will give us 5 over 4 x squared. You can use your calculator there. Now, what are the x's that we have? We've got 3 of them. 4x plus 2x, 6x minus x will give us what? 5x, positive 5x. Then we have 4 minus 175, which will give us negative 171, and that will give us 0. Okay. If you want, you can just run through your quadratic, if you don't want to find factors here. Let's do that quickly so that we get, or if you multiply by 4, we still have big numbers, we can just use our quadratic. But I don't like fractions. Let's get rid of the fractions. Multiply everything by 4. 5x squared plus 20x, I'm multiplying by 4 already, minus, and your 171 times 4 will there be, that will give us 4, 28, and then multiply by 4 again. What will that give us? You use your calculator, that should give us 684. Yes, because we have 4, we have 28, all right, and then 4 times 1, we have 684, which is equal to 0. We are supposed to solve this quadratically. So I can just say x equals to minus b, which is minus 20, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 20 squared, minus 4ac, okay, over 2a. Okay, let's grab a calculator quickly because we don't want to waste time. So if you see that those numbers are too big, there is no problem. We have a way of getting our answer. All right, plus the square root of 20 squared minus 4. What is my a? My a is 5. What is my c? Negative 684. And then 2a. Oh, that's just 10. Let's see. Why are we not getting... we're supposed to be getting 14. Let's see. Okay, no, it's fine. Let's see what this answer is. 9,9. Okay, let's go try. That's positive. Now, what if we change this to negative? All right, there is a problem somewhere. We have negative 13,86. Did we make a mistake somewhere? Okay, we're just going to quickly recheck, everybody. We have x squared plus 4x. 1 over 2 squared will give us 1 over 4. That's fine. Half times 2 would give us 1. Okay, I'm just rechecking 2x, and then we have plus 4. 2 times half would give us 1. Okay, lovely. Let's see. Probably missed something somewhere. Oh no, I see where the mistake is. I missed a 4 here. Check here. I missed this 4. Some of you might have picked it up. 4 minus 4, 0, and then minus 175. Okay. All right. That was just minus 175 equals to 0. Okay, that's what caused that little deviation. So we got rid of that by saying times 4. What is 175 times 4? That would actually give us 700. Let me just quickly do this. Multiplied by 4, that is 700 equals to what? 0. Okay, and then we said x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of. So when we do algebra, we need to be very careful. Negative 4, 5, so no one is above mistake. But unfortunately, we have to pay for such silly mistakes that I did as well. Okay, so what is our x? All right, let's quickly run through. We have negative 20 plus square root of 20 squared, which is 400, minus 4 multiplied by 5 multiplied by negative 700. We close the bracket, and then we have 10 at the bottom. Oh, makes sense. Now we have 10. So one of the values is 10. Just going to get the second value, and I'll explain why we have two answers. All right. And negative 14. Okay, so negative 14 or x equals to 10. Why do we have two answers? Please check. Look at, we're looking at the diameter, all right, and the circle. Do you notice there are 2 points of intersection, E and B. Oh, sweet, makes sense. E is positive and B is negative. So this is the coordinate of x coordinate of E, and this is the x coordinate of B. We are dealing with B. So how do we get the y value? So at B, we know x is equal to 10. But we know what our y is. Y is half x, which is half 10, plus what? 2. All right? No, we're using negative 14, sorry. We're using, at B, negative 14. Y equals to half multiplied by negative 14 plus 2. We're going back to that equation. Okay? And that will give us negative 7 plus 2, and y equals to negative 5. So what's the coordinate of B? X is negative 14, and y is negative 5. Lovely. So get the concept there. 6 marks. The point of intersection. Now that we have that, let's move on quickly. It's quite a lot of questions that we have. You can rewind to see and make sure that you understand fully all the steps. And you saw my own mistake. You learned from my mistake of algebra and correct yourself. Determine the equation of the tangent quickly. This is one thing you will always do when it comes to analytical. For you to get the equation of the tangent, one thing is important. You need the gradient of the tangent. And don't forget that your tangent and radius are perpendicular from our Euclidean geometry. So we know that m tan times m rad is equal to negative 1. So we do know our m rad as half. What is our m tan going to be? We just change the sign. It's positive here. It becomes negative. It's 1 over 2 here. What happens is we reverse reciprocate and it becomes 2 over 1, which is negative 2. Okay, so to get the equation of the tangent now, y equals to mx plus c. What is my gradient of the tangent? And what is the point on the tangent that we know? We are using point B. That is the point on the tangent. Oh, lovely. So what do we have? What's our y value? Negative 5. What's our gradient? Negative 2. What is our x value? Negative 14 plus c. We do the math. That will be 28 on the right hand side. If we bring it over here, it becomes negative 5 minus 28 equals to c. And c is negative 33. So what's the equation? Y equals to negative 2x minus 33. This is something you would always do when it comes to analytical. All right, we jump to 3.3, just increasing the pace. Here we now complete the square, determine the equation of the circle. Okay, x squared. Here, there's no need to do so many things, you know, just enjoy the maths. All right, minus 175 equals to 0. I'm just going to go straight to the answer. All I need to do is to prepare what my answer should look like. My 175 negative goes to the other side, which becomes positive. I'm going to have x there. I'm going to have y there. Now, what do? Divide the coefficient of x by 2. It's positive 4 divided by 2. It becomes positive 2. Now, square that value immediately. What is 2 squared? Positive 2 squared will give us what? 4. I'm going to come here and add it. In case I lost you there, get me on the second one. Look at the coefficient of y divided by 2. Negative 2 divided by 2, negative 1. Square that value immediately. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. Okay, so what do you have? X plus 2 squared, y minus 1 squared equals to 180. All right. And that automatically, with that, you can get the center of the circle, which is D. What is D? The center of the circle. It's positive 2 here. I'll have to change the sign. Negative 2. It's negative 1 here. I'll have to change the sign. Positive 1. That is the center of the circle. And r squared. Somebody saying, why are we changing? Let me just quickly guide you. The formula of the equation of the circle is that. All right, I am done with 3.3 already, okay, because I'm already moving to 3.4. So if you compare xx plus 2, negative 2, do you see that? Negative a. We are saying negative a equals to 2. So what is a? Negative 2. That's why the sign changes. If you look at this, minus 1 equals to minus b. So what is b? B is 1. So the center of the circle is negative 2 and what? What about the radius? Let's just get it for getting's sake. R squared equals to 180. So what is r? R is the square root of 180. I hope that makes sense. And you can use your calculator to check for the square root of 180. Simplify it. That is 36 times 5. All right? And that should give you square root of 36 is 6 root 5. We're done. Okay, just in case they ask you. Now, a new circle is obtained by shifting the circle. Let's get a new page. A new circle is obtained by shifting the circle 5 units vertically downwards and 3 units horizontally to the right, and the radius is doubled. Guys, please understand that this is not a function. Why is it not a function? A vertical line would cut the circle twice, so it's not a function. We do have the center of the circle. All right, it says a new circle is obtained by shifting the given circle 5 units vertically downwards. Downwards only affects our y value. So we're shifting this thing downwards. It only affects the y value. And if it goes down, it is minus 5. So what is 1 minus 5? It is negative 4. And 3 units horizontally to the right. It only affects the x. And if it's moving to the right, it's not functions, guys. All right. So 3 minus 2 would give us 1. This is the equation. This is the center. Let's call it the image of the new circle. And the radius is doubled. Oh, our initial radius, 6 root 5. Oh, no, I shouldn't put it there. This is the old circle. Now our new radius will be doubled. 12 root 5. We multiply that by 2. Determine the equation of the new circle in the form of that. Okay, we start from here. X minus a squared, y minus b squared equals to what? R squared. X minus our a is 1. Y minus 4, which makes it positive. All right. And we have what? 12 root 5. But it is all what? Squared. Let's simplify by expanding. X squared minus 2x plus 1 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16 by foiling. And your 12 root 5, what will that be? And I can already just bring that over to the other side. Let me get a calculator quickly. That is 144 times 5, by the way. Okay, but let's just do that. 12 root 5 all squared. 12 root 5 all squared. 720. Okay. But look at the form they want us to write it. Everything must be on the left-hand side. So what do I have? X squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 8y. Now, then I have 1 plus 16. All right. Now, I'm bringing the 720 over. It becomes a negative. And my answer, therefore, is negative 703 equals to 0. 5 marks. Please, let's make sure that is well understood. And you start working into your distinctions when it comes to maths. I hope that's okay. We can then move on. Beautiful. Let's go to the next question quickly. That one is sorted. Let's look at this one. In the diagram, a circle centered at M is drawn. Okay. The equation of the circle is given as x minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 equals 25. The circle cuts the x-axis at x and O. All right. Okay. X and K. Sorry. X-axis at O and K. That actually should be a tangent, so I'm just using that black dot to close that little gap that is there. Okay, not very visible though. A tangent PR, see, is drawn from P to touch the circle at K. 4.1. Let's quickly move on. Write down the coordinate of M. M is the center of the circle. We did that just a while ago. It is x minus 3 and y minus 4. We just change the sign. It's going to be 3 and 4. Next question, you get your first 2 marks. Remember, the sign changes. Calculate the coordinate of K. Interesting. Coordinate of K. Let's see. Oh, this is similar to what we did earlier on. This one here, our center is 3 and 4. We want the coordinate of K. K again is a point of intersection. All right, point of intersection where? I'd like you to see that. Point of intersection where? Let me draw something out for you. Look, we've got this. All right, we've got that. But amazingly, I've got this as well. That's my x-axis. All right? That's my x-axis there. And we know K is right here, a point of intersection between the circle, tangent, and the x-axis. Lovely. What is the value? What do we know there? Oh, y is equal to 0. That's the equation there. You just need to look for 2 equations that you know. And we know the equation of the circle, x minus 3 squared, blah, 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 blah. So we know it is the circle and the y-axis. Beautiful. Circle and the y-axis. And we know at the y-axis, and the x-axis, we know y is equal to 0. We're done. X minus 3 squared plus, what is my y value? 0. Right? Minus 4 squared equals to 25. X minus 3 squared, this will give us plus 16 equals to 25. I want us to do this without expanding. You might just learn a few tricks here again. X minus 3 squared. If we move this there, it gives us 9. Now, we find the square root of both sides, but remember, we are solving. So the square root of 9 would be positive 3 or negative 3. Square root is plus or minus. Okay, so x would be equal to, we move this 3 over, 6, or x equals to 0. Why are we having 2 answers? There are 2 points of intersection, 1 and 2. Let's go check. Oh, it makes perfect sense. That point there is 0. K should be the second one. So our x value is 6. So what's the coordinate of K? X is 6 and y is 0. Make sure you write that out. Lovely. Now we can get the gradient of MK 4.2.2. MK gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2. Or let me do this so you don't make mistake. We're looking for the gradient of MK. Let me claim this. Gradient of what? MK. So it is ym minus yk over what? Xm minus xk. So you don't make mistake. What is the y value of M? 4. What is the y value of k? 0. And your answer must be negative. You can see your gradient there, your line. What is the x value of M? 3. And what is the x value of k? 6. So what's your answer? 4 over negative 3, which is negative 4 over 3. Done. 2 marks. Determine the equation of the tangent. I told you that is something you will always do. That is something you must always find. You will always find that in a question. So, just going to take this out quickly. Yeah. All of that. We want the equation of the tangent. Let's see this time around. I'm just going to draw a line there. Okay. Now, to get the equation of the tangent, we need the gradient of the tangent. Question is, do we know the gradient of the radius? Yes, we do. M rad is negative 4 over 3. Therefore, M tangent, what do we do? Change the sign, becomes positive, reciprocate, 3 over 4. Beautiful. 3 over 4. Do we know a point on the tangent? Yes. What's our point on the tangent? So M equals to 3 over 4, and we know a point on the tangent, 6 and 0, which is point K. Lovely. Y equals to mx plus c. What's our y value? Our y value is 0. What is our m? 3 over 4. What is our x value? 6 plus c. Lovely. So what is our answer? Please, you use your calculator, but I see my answer here as 9 over 2. So c equals to negative over 2. What do we have? Y is equal to 3 over 4x minus 9 over 2. And that's our answer. I hope everybody is okay with that. Please, equation of the tangent is something you will always do. So you need to learn that. And it's always 3 marks, 4 marks, hereabout. 4.4. From R, another tangent is drawn to the circle to touch the circle at T. From R, another tangent is drawn to touch the circle at T. Oh, I see something that looks Euclidish. That's my English. All right. Tangents drawn from the same point are equal. Okay. Calculate the length of RT. Do you know we know nothing about T there? Okay. But tangents drawn from the same point are equal. So we can say that RT is equal to what? RK. Tangents drawn from same point. So all we need to do is to get the coordinate of R and use the distance formula. Do we know the coordinate of R? Oh, R is on this straight line. And we know this equation as y equals to what? 3 over 4x minus 9 over 2. That is my y-intercept. Lovely. So what is the coordinate of R? The coordinate of R, we know at that point x is 0 and y is negative 9 over 2. And we know the coordinate of K. What's the coordinate of K? X is 6 and y is 0. So we can use the distance formula since we have said RT equals to what? RK. Therefore, RT will be the square root distance formula. Change in X plus change in Y, all squared. Lovely. So let's do that. The square root, what is our X2? Doesn't matter which one you use first, okay? Negative 9 over 2 minus 0 all squared. Oh, I was writing y, although we still get the same answer, but let's just do, all right, x, 0 minus 6 squared, that will give us 36, and y, negative 9 over 2 minus 0 all squared. Just get a calculator quickly. You also confirm that will be the square root of 36, and 9 over 2 squared would be what? 81 over 4. All right. 15 over 2, which is 7,5. All right, 15 over 2 units. Lovely. 4.5. Another circle K. Let's get a fresh page. Another circle K centered at N. Oops, where is N? These guys like doing all of this, so you've got to learn to, okay. Another circle K centered as N is drawn to touch the circle centered at M. All right. Externally at K. Okay, so there is another circle that touches. Let me use a red one. There is another circle that touches this at K. Lovely. That's what the examiner says. It is given that MN is 10 units. Okay, hold on. Mn. Okay, my circles are not drawn to scale because I'm just reading. We know that Mn is 10. Beautiful. Mn is 10 units. Calculate the coordinate of n. Ooh, we know nothing here. But hold on. What do we know about the first circle? Remember, the equation of the first circle, r squared is 25, which means the radius is 5. Oh, I see. If this is 5, it also means that is 5. Oh, which makes k. Look, this is interesting. There are two ways of doing this, and I would like to just explore. We have two circles. I'd like to explore this. Oh, that looks perfect. What is the coordinate here? The coordinate here is 3 and 4. We know k as the midpoint. We know this as 5 units, and we know the coordinate of k as what? X is 6 and y is 0. And we're looking for n here. Okay. All right. We also know this as 5, which means k is the midpoint. We can start by using the midpoint formula. x1 plus x2 over 2. That would be our k, because that's where the midpoint is. y1 plus y2 over 2. All right. And our value here is 6 and 0. So it means x1 plus x2 over 2 equals to 6. And what is my x1? 3 plus xn. All right, those are my two externals. Okay. Now, 12 there. Xn would be equal to 9. I'm sure you know the maths. What about the y value? y1 plus y2 over 2 equals to 0. What is our y1? Our y1 is 4 plus y value of n over 2 equals to 0. Yn would be equal to negative 4. You cross multiply and then move that over. So what is the value of n? It is 9. All right, that is one method. Now, the second method is to look at this straight line. And we know that the gradient, these lines are collinear. And collinear points have the same gradient. So we can use what we call movement. Somebody say, what is movement? I'll explain. Look at the first value of x. It's 3. Look at the next value of x. It's 6. All right, please listen carefully. It means these are shifted 3 units to the right to get to k. Because the gradient is the same, it means n also, and look, the distance here are also equal. All right, that, please be careful with that. That I'm doing because the distance are equal. I wouldn't have done this if this is not 5 and 5. So again, this has to move 3 units to the right, but only because it's 5 and 5. All right, 5 and 5, and it's the midpoint. So once it's the midpoint, you can do that. 3 units to the right to 6. It means I need to move 3 units again to the right, and that would be what? N would be n. 9. 3 units, 3 units. What about the y value? 4 and 0. We have moved 4 units down. I have to move 4 units down as well. 0 minus 4, negative 4. Please take note. Collinear and midpoint. Collinear and midpoint. Lovely. You would have gotten your 3 marks there, whichever method you use. Determine the equation of the circle centered at n in the form of that. Beautiful. Centered at n. We're done with this question. Okay. We know the center. We know the radius as well as 5. Beautiful. X, what's our center? 9. Okay. Plus y minus 4 minus would give me plus 4 squared. And what is our r squared? Is 5 squared. So x squared minus 18x plus 81 plus y squared 8y plus 16. I'm bringing my 25. 5 squared is 25. Quickly, we don't have time to waste. X squared minus 18x plus y squared plus 8y. Now, what is 81 plus 16 minus 25? 81 plus 16 will give us 97, and 97 minus 25 should give us 72. Just confirm quickly with your calculator, but I know I'm right. 81 plus 16 there, 97, yes, and minus 25 should give us 72. Minus 72 should be equal to 0. Question done. All right, we move to the next. Oh, but let's rearrange it nicely. Look at what they said. X squared plus y squared. Okay, so examiners, x squared plus y squared. Let's arrange it the way they want. Follow the order. Okay, x squared plus y squared minus 18x plus 8y. Follow that order. X squared plus y squared plus fx plus da-da-da. Okay, we're done. Oh, let's look at this one. In the sketch below, P, which is 3 and 2, is the center of the circle. ST is a tangent to the circle at T. The equation of ST is given as x minus 2y plus 3 equals to 0. All right, V is a point on the circle such that PV, where is PV? PV is parallel. Okay, PV is parallel. PV is parallel to ST. Parallel lines of equal gradient. Write down the gradient of ST. Okay, we do know something though. 4.1.1. We are given x minus 2y. Let's always change this to the standard equation. All right, x plus 3. If I move my 2y over, is that fine? Then we divide. What do we have? 1 over 2x plus 3 over 2. Gradient is equal to what? Half. We're done. 4.1.2. Determine the equation of what? TP in the form y equals to mx plus c. TP is a radius. Oh, we know our m tangent already, okay, as half. It means the m rad, change the sign, reciprocate, -2. And we know a point on the radius as point P, which is 3 and 2. Y equals to what? Mx plus C. What is my Y value? 2. What is my gradient? -2. What is my X value? 3 plus C. That gives us -6. We move that -6 over, it becomes +6. So C is equal to 8. So what's our equation? Y equals to -2x plus 8. Calculate the perpendicular distance between the parallel lines. All right, the perpendicular distance means it must be 90 degrees between the parallel lines. And which is that? So basically, we are looking for 4.1.3. We are looking for the length of PT. But I cannot get the length of PT if I don't know the coordinate of T. So how do we find T? T is a point of intersection between, we don't even know the circle as well. But it is the point of intersection between the two lines. All right? That and that. T is a point of intersection. We know this equation and we know that equation. Good. They gave us the first one. So we're looking at ST. It's a point of intersection between ST and TP. What is our ST equation? Question 4.1.1. We wrote that out. Half x plus 3 over 2. What is our TP equation? -2x plus 8. All right. Let's put all our x's on one side. Half x plus 2x will give us 5 over 2x. I hope that makes sense. Then 8 minus 3 over 2. What would that give us? 8 minus 3 over 2. Okay, if we use, I just don't like calculators, you know. All right, so that's 16 over 2 minus 3. That should be 13 over 2. All right, 13 over 2. So what is x? X is 13 over 5. Okay? 13 over 5. And what is our y value? We know y as what? Negative 2. We have 13 over 5 plus 8. So let's go get that. Okay, let's use a calculator to make life easy here. Negative 26. Negative 26 over 5 plus 8. Okay, so it's basically 8 minus 26 over 5. And that gives us 14 over 5. So that is the coordinate of t. Coordinate of t is 13 over 5 and 14. But we are looking for the length of PT. So we need to then use our distance formula. Let me do this. Okay, now we can get our PT. Let me just shift this to the left so that it looks orderly. Okay, got to just redraw on your line. There we go. Now, we know the coordinate of P. So PT will be the square root of what? X2 minus X1. The X value of P and the X value of T. So it's 13 over 5 minus 3. Now the Y value is 14 over 5 minus, what is the Y value of T? 2 squared. Now what is our answer? Okay, here we definitely need to use a calculator to make it fast. Square root of, we have a bracket, 13 over 5 minus 3 all squared plus 14 over 5 minus 2 all squared. No, I missed something. I missed the 2. Minus 2 squared. Okay, what's our answer? 2 root 5 over 5. Don't change it and just leave your answer like that. Units. Except you are told to write it in decimal. All right, beautiful. Determine the equation of the circle with center P. Okay, that's now easy. 4.1.4. Let's squeeze it here. Formula is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to what? R squared. Do we know the center of the circle? 3. So x minus 3 squared. Do we know the center of the circle? The y value, the b. All right. Now we have our radius, because radius is that PT. So it's 2 root 5 over 5 all what? Squared. And what would that give us if you simplify? Root 5 squared would be 5, okay, plus y minus 2 squared. Now root 5 times root 5 will give us 5, which cancels one of the 5s, so I have 4 over 5. Alright, you can recheck. Let's just make sure. We have 2 root of 5 over 5. Okay. Oh, I needed to have said squared, so I'm just going to do this answer squared. 4 over 5. Lovely. Now, 4.1.5. Let's get a fresh page. .1.5. The tangent ST is translated up so that point S now lies at 0 and 3. Interesting. Okay, it's translated up. Let's try something. So it means it's shifted vertically upwards. Let me make it a bit thinner. Okay, so we have something that looks like that. All right. This is now 3. A new circle having center P is drawn so that the new position of T lies on the new circle. The new position, okay, so T lies on the new circle. Determine the equation of the new circle. Okay, let's start by doing something. We got this equation here earlier on as y equals to 1 over 2x plus, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. Y equals to 1 over 2x plus 3 over 2. Okay, so that point is 3 over 2. And also we've gone up. This is 1,5 and this is 3. Okay, we've gone up by 1,5 units, by 3 over 2 units. I hope that makes sense, because this is 3 over 2 and that's 3. So we've gone up by 3 units. Okay. It says, so that the new position of P lies. Now, there's a bit of an ambiguity on this question here, so I'm going to do it in 2 interpretations because it's a bit ambiguous. The new position of T, look at where T is. All right, T has now gone up. Okay, I'll tell you the ambiguity of this question a little bit. T has now gone up. Now, why this is a bit ambiguous is just 2 things. T is a tangent on the small circle. All right, so the examiner is not so clear here, language. T is a tangent on the circle. And if we are translating that, the question is, could T still be, because they could have specified that the new line is not a tangent, because that creates a better understanding of the question. Okay, because if the new line, the new line is a tangent and T still maintains being a tangent, then T would be somewhere here, because that affects the whole interpretation of the question. I hope that makes sense. Because if we translate and we still maintain that that is a tangent, although that is not specified but could be interpreted. Okay, so it's just a bit ambiguous. All right, the new position of T lies on the new circle. Now, if T is not if that line is not a tangent, then T only moves vertically upwards by 3 over 2 units. So the new coordinate here will be what? 13 over 5. We still maintain our x. And then we have 14 over 5 plus 3 over 2. That is, okay, like I said, this question is a bit ambiguous in terms of the language used, because they could have specified that the new line is not a tangent, because if we move that vertically, we could maintain that that line is also a tangent. Okay, so there are 2 interpretations to this question. All right, determine the equation of the new circle. Since it is still centered at P, okay, so basically, let me make this clear. We have a new circle. We have a new circle. I hope with my circle, the ambiguity of this question is now exposed. It really does expose the ambiguity of this question, because T is a tangent and we're shifting the whole thing upwards. All right. Okay. But we'll work with the fact that T just shifts upwards. All right. T shifts upwards. So that line is not a tangent. So our new position of T is right here, because that whole thing shifts upwards. Make sense? That whole coordinate. So T moves up. All right. So, which means the new coordinate of T new, is what? 13 over 5, and then 14 over 5 plus You know where the 3 over 2 came from, right? What is 3 over 2? That is 28 plus 20 over 10. Okay, no, sorry, 28 plus 15 over 10, okay? We'll use a calculator to get that. Now, what is the radius of the new circle? So our new radius would actually be, let's call it PT new. So we need the coordinate we need the correct coordinate. So what do we have? 14 over 5 plus 3 over 2, which is 43 over 10. All right, so our new coordinate is 13 over 5 and what? 43 over 10. All right, I was right when I said 28 plus 15 over 10. Okay, lovely. Now, PT, therefore, will be, we need to find that new radius. Distance, x2 minus x1. Okay, remember we're using 3 and 2 as our P. So it's 3 minus 13 over 5 squared plus, what is our y value? 2 minus 43 over 10 all squared. And what will my answer be? That's my new radius. Let's quickly get an answer there. Square root of 3 minus 13 over 5 all squared. All right, plus, okay, no, I moved away from the square root, plus 2 minus 43 over 10 all squared, and that gives us root 545 over 10, root 545 over 10. Don't be scared about what your answers are, just trust the process. So 3 minus 13 over 5 squared, just make sure that you've typed it in correctly. 3 minus, it is 13 over 5, just reconfirm, squared, all right, plus the change in the y values, 2 minus 43 over 10. You still remember how we got the 43 over 10? All right, all squared. Okay, that's what we have. So what's the equation of the circle? X minus the center of the circle is still 3 plus y minus 2, and that is root 545 over 10, everything squared. And if you simplify that, that will then give you 545 over 100. All right, which would give you 54,5. But I don't just like the fractions. So if you try that, 545 over 100, let's see what we would get. I think we can divide through by 5. So that will give us 109 over 20 if we divide by 5. Lovely. 109. Okay, 4.2. 5 marks. Let's just create a fresh page so that we, this is 4.1.5. 4.2. 4.2. Given circle A having x squared plus y squared equals to 9. Oh, it's a different question completely. Circle A, x squared. This means this circle is at the center is at the origin. Origin at center. Okay, it's not connected at all. And circle B having what? X minus 4 squared plus, all right, equals to 16. Determining whether circles A and B intersect, touch or do not touch at all. Oh, all right, you need to know how to deal with this. What we need to do is to calculate the distance between the centers. Distance between centers. And compare them with the sum of the radius. Sum of the radii of the two circles. All right, let's look at the distance between the circles. This one is at the origin, so we're looking at 0 and 0. And the center here is 4 and 1. So distance would be the square root of 0 minus 4 squared plus 0 minus 1 squared. And d would be 16 plus 1 root of 17. You might need to change this into decimal so that you'll be able to compare what is the root of 17. 4,12. Now, what about the sum of the radius? All right, radius of A, remember it is r, this is always r squared, will be 3. Radius of B will be 4. So RA plus RB equals to 3 plus 4, and that is 7. Now, what are the conditions? In case you don't know the conditions, I'm just quickly going to use the small space to show you there are 3 possible things. If my circles are touching and overlapping, that's 1. They don't have to be equal circles. All right? If they are just touching each other, and if they are not touching each other at all, we're going to use the same principle for the 3 of them. I'm just quickly going to draw. Just give me a few seconds. All right, radius of one, radius of the other, radius of the other one. Let's use a yellow one for the other one. Radius of the other circle. All right, radius of the other circle here, and radius of the other circle. And I'll use a green one for the distance between the centers. Distance, distance, distance. Okay, so R1, R2, distance. R1, R2, distance. R1, R2, distance. You would see here that R1 plus R2 is actually greater than the distance because it's overlapping. R1 plus R2 is equal to distance. R1 plus R2 is less than the distance. There's a gap here in the middle. So let's go compare. Which one is greater here? R1 plus R2, 7 is greater than. So RA plus RB is greater than D. Which one are we using? Yes, it's number 1. Determine whether circles A touch each other, all right, intersect, touch each other, or do not touch. They actually intersect. Circle A and circles A and B. You need that conclusion. Intersect each other. Because R1 plus R, and give the reason, R1 plus R2 is greater than D. Lovely. We're done with that question. That was just a very fast summary there. Okay, we have another one here. In the diagram below, a circle with center M has a tangent PD to the circle at 0 and 6 are drawn. Okay, we see that. The equation of the circle is x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 4y minus 12 equals to 0. PR is a diameter. T is a y-intercept, and chord RT. Okay, just too many information there. Just got to go read again. Okay, PR is a diameter. T is the y-intercept. Oh, there we go. And chord RT is produced, and RTD is parallel to the x-axis. Okay, beautiful. This and this are parallel. Determine the coordinate of M. What do you know? Coordinate of M. That's the center of the circle. You can do that without even wasting time. All right. Minus 12. But let's just write the equation of the whole circle. You know what we do. Quickly, we complete the square just to make life very easy for us. All right. X and Y. You just look, we can get the coordinate of M very fast with just looking at the circle. It's just to divide the coefficient of X by 2, which is 6. But remember to change the sign. Negative 3. Divide the coefficient of y by 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 would give us negative 2. Change the sign. We're done. But let's go see that how that came out there. This is positive 3, negative 2. Remember, square this value. Positive 3 times squared will give us 9. Negative 2 squared will give us 4. So what do we have? X plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared. That will give us 13 plus 12, which gives us 25. Okay, so it means the center of the circle M would be what? Negative 3 and positive 2, which you already have. And my r squared is 25, which means my r is 5. Okay, I don't need this for now. I only need a 4.1, which I'm done. 4.1. Okay, that's all I need. 4.2. Determine the length of PR. Oh, sweet. PR is a diameter, which is 2 times the radius. Oh, sweet. So it's 2 times 5, and that is 10 units. Please, there's a difference between r squared and 2r. Determine the equation of the tangent PD. We will always do that. All right. Now, what we don't know this time around is the gradient of the radius. Now, how do we get, I want to quickly show you a formula that would help you. Gradient of the radius is y2 minus y1, but use this, y minus b over x minus a. It keeps you from making coordinate mistakes. Okay, we know our y as 0 and 6, a and b as negative 3, 2. So, what is my y value? 6 minus, what is my b value? 2 over, what is my x? Remember, x and y lie outside. A and b lie inside. What is our x value? 0 minus, what is our a value? Negative 3. Okay, our gradient should actually be positive. 6 minus 2, you have 4 over 3. Now, what is the m tangent? We reverse, or we change the sign and reciprocate. Do we have a point on the tangent? 0 and 6. We know y equals to mx plus c, right? Y equals to mx plus c. Just going to save space here. What is our y value? 6 equals to negative 3 over 4. What is our x value? 0. Oh, there's no need to even do that. There's no need. We already know that 6 is the intercept. So what's our equation? Y is equal to negative 3 over 4x. What's our y-intercept? Because P there is the y-intercept, which is plus what? 6. We're done. Okay. All right. What are we looking for now? We're looking for the coordinate of D for point 4. What can you tell me about point D? D is actually a point of intersection. That's what I see. D is a point of intersection between which lines? Between the tangent, all right, and this. And we know the equation of the tangent already. We said y is equal to, what did we get? Negative 3 over 4x plus negative 3 over 4x plus 6. All right, the question is, we do not know the equation of this one here. However, it's not something that we cannot do. We can get the coordinate of r. Why? M is the midpoint. Okay? So let's go look for r. We know x1 plus x2. So xr plus 0 over 2, that is point P there, all right? xr plus xp over 2 should be equal to negative 3, which means xr is negative 6. Interesting. What about the y value? yr plus y value of p over 2 should be equal to the midpoint. So yr 2 times 2, 4, minus 6, negative 2. So what's the coordinate of r? Negative 6, and it makes sense now. Negative 6. It means this line is straight. They told us it's parallel. So the y value here is negative 2. What's the equation of this line? It's a horizontal line. Y equals to negative 2. It's horizontal. Gradient is 0. So point D will have to equate those two. Negative 3 over 4x plus 6 equals to the other y value, negative 2. Oh, I see. We are going to get our answer very swiftly. Negative 8. Okay, if we multiply, that will give us negative 32. Negative 32, all right, plus 3 will then give us what? It's going to be, we're supposed to get a positive, that's a blunder. 4 times 8 is 32, negative 32 divided by negative 3 will give us what? 32 over 3. Now, what is our y value? Oh, we already know the y value. Y value is d. So what's the coordinate of d? Always write your coordinate out. Lovely. And negative 2. So you've got to take some time to analyze the question. Let's look at the last one now. The circle having center M is translated to the right such that point D. I need to get a fresh page to analyze this one. I'm going to clean this because I want to work on the diagram. Where's my eraser? Okay. The circle having center M is translated to the right such that D lies, so the point D lies on the translated circle. Oops. Okay. Let me do that here. We have this circle. All right. The point D, okay, is translated to the right so that the point D lies. Let's quickly interpret that. That means this circle is shifted to the right. So I want to draw the circle again with a different color. Lovely. Now it is shifted to the right so that point D lies on the circle. Okay, there is an important thing that I see here. Let me move this a little bit. Let me draw this line so that we can see. I'm trying to interpret. Lovely. So this is R, that is T. Now, D lies on the circle. I see there are two ways. For D to lie on the circle, it could either, I hope you would be able to see what I'm doing. D could be here. Okay, that's where D is, you know. That means point D, point T is now at point, check there. However, we could have another possible situation. Could have a possible situation where point R will also lie on D. Let me reduce the size of this circle to make things a bit clearer, just for us to be able to see. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to draw this horizontal line. Let me use white to represent my horizontal line. Lovely. Okay, so our first circle, let me do this. I want to get the exact circle. Okay, now remember, this is R, this is T, and we have point D here. So if I do my first translation, what I'm thinking about, okay, is this. I have moved T to where D is. I hope that makes sense. They said D should lie on the circle. However, I could still move. Let's try to find a different color. Extra, so that R, I want you to get this. The first thing is, okay, I have this yellow circle, right? And that's point D. If I am moving, okay, whichever one, I'm moving, that is point T is now moving so that it stays where D is. So this is now my point T, my new point T. Or I could move extra further and now point R. So that's what we're having something very interesting to look at. So we could have moved point T to D, all right? Or we could move point R to D. So what are we looking for? Determine the coordinate of the possible new circles. All right, so we're moving T units or R units. Let's count T to D. What is the length of T to D? Do we know the coordinate of T? Yes. What's the coordinate of T? 0 and -2. And what's the coordinate of D? We got, what was our D? 32/3. And -2. All right, so what is the number of units moved? Do you see the number of units moved there? 32/. So unit translation, units moved to the right will be what? 32/3. It means the circle must also move. Remember, the center of the circle must also move the same number of units. What is the center of the circle again? We got -3 and +2. -3 and +2. So it must move to the right. So our D new will be -3 plus 32/3. That's the X. And the Y remains what? The same. What is our answer there? What is our answer? 32, no, what is it? -3 plus 32/3. 23/3. So it is 23/3 and 2. All right, it's moving to the right. Makes a lot of sense because it's now here. But we have only catered for D. We need to cater for R. Now, that's exactly what we've done. R, D. What is the coordinate of R? We got that earlier on, -6. Lovely. So we have -6 and -2. What's the coordinate of D? It was 32. Okay. Now, how many units have we moved? First thing is to move 6 units. All right. This is 6 units. We moved the first 6 units and then 32/3. So we have shifted this. How many units? Units moved to the right will be 32/3. It's always the right minus the left plus what? 6. And what will that be? You've got to just try to rewind to make sure you understand what we've done. 50/3. So we've moved 50/3 units. So our D new, those are the 2 new centers that we could have. It was -3. So -3 plus 50/3 and then 2. So what will be that? Let's quickly get that out. -3 plus 50/3. Missed my 0 there. 41/3 and 2. So 41/3 and 2. Let me shift this whole thing upwards a little bit. So 41/3 and 2. So these are your answers. I hope it makes sense. All right, so you've got to analyze. So we shifted to the right. T could lie on D because it's a straight line. R could also lie on D. We said so that D, so it's determine the coordinate of the possible centers. We want D to be on the circle. So R could have taken the place of D. T could have also taken the place of D. Very lovely question. Okay, let's see. Oh, we just have one more. Let's quickly run through this. Interesting session. The diagram below shows a circle with center B, which is A and B. BP is parallel. I'm just going to quickly, I like to look for those points and get familiar. Oh, to the y-axis, beautiful. It's a straight line. With P on the x-axis, lovely. AS is a tangent to the circle at B, okay, at A, -2 and 4, and intersect the x-axis at S, oh, lovely. And the y at R, oh, so many points. AE is a tangent to the smaller circle, oh gosh. At DN touches the circle. ORS is 45, ORS is 45. BR is perpendicular. Oof, a lot of information. BR is perpendicular. Oh, lovely. Okay. Shows that the equation of the tangent AS is y is minus x plus 2. Okay, let's look at AS. AS. We do have something peculiar there. But for us to get the tangent, we need, oh, I see. We need the gradient. Look at this. This is very clever. This is 90. It makes this angle here 135 degrees because we need the tangent. I see angle of inclination. Exterior angle is equal to opposite. But if you don't see that, if that is 90, this is also 45. Then angles on a straight line. Makes sense. All right. So 10, this is 4.1. 10 theta equals to m. So 10, 135. Okay, what is m therefore? What is 10, 135? That's -1. That's the gradient of the tangent, m10. All right, so y equals to mx plus c, with my gradient being -1 and my points being -2 and 4. Okay, so what we have, y, we know y as 4, -1 multiplied by -2. All right, this will be +2. Move it over. C should be 2. What's our equation? Gradient is -1 times x and plus 2. Great, we got it. Beautiful. Interesting. 4.2. If OP is 4 units, determine the value of A and B. Interesting. I'd like us to take a bit of extra focus here. OP is 4 units. Oh, so it means the x value. Oh, so A is -4 because we're moving to the left. That has been done already. Check. Very important concept when it comes to the center of a circle. All right. So OP is 4 units. All right. We're not looking for the radius. Please get it. We're looking for the center. So A is -4. Question is, what is B? What is B? B is the vertical. Okay, from here. Oh, if I can get, oh wait, we know the equation of this line. Y equals to -x plus 2. That's my y-intercept. So that is 2. So from here to here is 2. So my B is 2. So what's the center of the circle? Or determine the values of A and B. We're done. Please take note of that and try to make sense. This is a very beautiful question. Determine the equation of the center of the circle with center B. All right, we now know the center. We just need to get the length of the radius. So x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to r squared. What's our x? -2. What's our center? Minus -4. So that gives us +4. What's our y value? I'm using point A, 4. And what is our b? We got b as 2. Okay, because we need to get r squared. 4 minus 2 would be 2. 2 squared would be 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4. All right, so r is the square root of 8, which is 2 root 2. So what's the equation of the circle? X plus 4 squared, y minus 2 squared equals to what? Oh, r squared. We don't even need, r squared is what? 8. Remember, I'm taking it from here. Equation of the circle, x minus a. Now 4.4, the equation of the smallest circle with d is that x squared da 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 da. Oh, we have to complete the square. When I see this, I'm always excited because it is some free marks for everyone. Completing the square. 4.4 x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 2y equals to what? 0. Let's complete the square together quickly. Lovely. Let's complete. We open our bracket. Okay, it's 0 here. There's no constant. So x and y. Let's divide that by the coefficient of x by 2, negative 1. Square that immediately and add. Minus 1 again. Square that immediately and then add. So what do we have? X minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals to 2. That's the equation of your circle. Write down the coordinate of D, the center of the circle. Oh, that's lovely. We change the coordinate there. It's minus 1, becomes positive 1. We change that, it also becomes positive 1. 4.6. Calculate the length of AE, the tangent. All right, that's 6 marks. This is interesting. Let's look at AE. Okay. The tangent to the circle at D. Beautiful. Okay. The issue is we don't know the distance between, or the coordinate of E. Look, always do this. It will kind of just help you. Do your construction, little construction there. So if I do that construction, I know that's a radius. Oh, I'm seeing something here already. Radius and tangent would give me, what, 90 degrees. Oh, that actually gives me a right angle triangle. That gives me a beautiful right angle triangle. I don't know if you see that. Let's see. A, E. That's a radius and that's a tangent. And I know D. Oh, wait. Can we try to... Oh, I see where we're going. I see where we're going. I'm looking for the distance of AE. But I do know the coordinate here. And I know the coordinate here. Oh, beautiful. And I know DE. DE is the radius. It is root 2. Remember, R squared is 2. So my R is the R. And I know we're done. We are done. Let's go get the distance AD. Root of x2 minus x1 minus 2 minus 1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. What will our answer be? Let me get a calculator. It's been a long session. Minus 2 minus 1 will give us 3. 3 squared will give us 9. All right? I'm still not using a calculator there. And 4 minus 1, 3. 3 squared will give us another 9. Oh, so it's just the square root of 18, which is 3 root 2. I don't even know why I used that calculator. 3 root 2. Now we can bring in the theorem of Pythagoras because it's a right angle what? Triangle. This becomes my hypotenuse. So AD squared equals to what? AE squared plus DE squared. Pythagoras. Theorem of Pythagoras. Ooh, just squeezing that in. Theorem of Pythagoras. Do I know AD now? All right, I do know AD. 3 root 2 squared. What is our AE? That's what we are looking for. Do I know DE? Oh, it's DE squared, which is R squared. So that is just what? 2. Now, what is 3 times 3? 9 times 2, 18. Oh, by the way, it's AD squared as well. All right. So that will give us what? 18. 9 times 2, 18 minus 2. equals to AE squared, which is 16. AE is 4 units. Lovely. So you've got to analyze, make your small notes, everything you identify, put them down. There are always pointers and guidelines to help you get your answer. I hope you did enjoy the session. That's the end of the whole thing. All right, thank you for watching. If you really enjoyed, please just leave us a comment. Leave us a comment on our YouTube page, where you're watching. Remember to like, remember to share, and remember to comment. It's been a pleasure serving you. Should you just find this video somewhere, this is what? Krazifizix. Send this to someone, send the link to someone, and help someone. It's been a pleasure serving you, and oh, my love. Oops. Goodbye, everybody. But I need to put that heart there. Now I've got something there that will help me with my heart. Yep. Goodbye, everybody. There we go. Oh, it's not even getting bigger. All right, anyway, goodbye.